Okay. So the first part is just like that first column from Jeopardy yesterday, where you're just telling me how many you're gonna write with exponents. So you keep the base as 6, and then how many 6s are there? 5. So it's just 6 to the 5th power. Here you don't have to solve. You just tell me what it is. Okay. So then this is something I didn't tell y'all yesterday, but when it's in parentheses, keep it in parentheses. So this would stay -4, and then how many are there? 3. So it's 4 to the 3rd power. Because if you type that in your calculator without the parentheses, and it's an even number, it'll make it wonky. Okay, and then on number 3, you keep x and y. How many x's are there? 3, and then how many y's?
2.
So, that's how you would do that. Alright, same thing on number 4. Keep the -3 in parentheses. How many are there?
2.
2, and then how many c's?
3.
So, that's all you have to do on that first part. You don't have to solve anything. Okay, on the next part, it is using the exponents to do certain operations. So, when you multiply bases, what do you do with the exponents?
Just drop it in. Right? Oh, wait.
Oh, the exponents you add.
You add the exponents.
What?
I was thinking about the main number.
Okay, so your base stays g, and then what does my exponent become? 7. Okay? So then here, my base stays the same, and what does my exponent become? 10. Okay, on the next two, again, your base stays the same, so it's still 6, and then what's my exponent? 9. And then when you have a number as your base, actually solve it. So what is 6 to the 9th power? It's a really big number. Yeah, it's a really big number. So, on this would be worth 2 points. You got to tell me what it would become when you add the exponents, and then what it actually is.
What?
So, make sure you have both of these answers. Okay? So then on the next one, your base stays 4. What does your exponent become? 11. And then what's 4 to the 11th power? 4,000. Is it 4,000? 4 million? 194,304. So again, that one would be worth 2 points because there's 2 answers. Okay, good on those?
Yeah.
All right. Then when you divide bases, what do you do with your exponents? Subtract. Okay, so this becomes r to the what? 4th. And then this becomes n to the 6th. Okay? And then it has the directions again for you for some reason, but you can just ignore those. We're still doing the exact same thing up here. So, we're still subtracting the exponents. So, what's 7 minus 4? 5 cubed. And then what do I do with that?
We solve it.
Actually solve it. So, what is 5 cubed?
125.
125. Okay, on the next one, what is my exponent? 4. And then what is 8 to the 4th? 4,096. Okay, and then when you have exponents that are touching, what operation do you do? Multiply. So this would be w to the what? 15th. Okay, this would be y to the
12.
7 to the,
8.
and then what is that?
5,764,801.
Beautiful. So just remember, when you have a number as a base, you're going to have to give 2 answers. So just don't forget to do that. All right, and then 16 would be what?
4 or 6.
4 to the 6th. And then what is 4 to the 6th? 4,096. Alright, this is the one that got a lot of people yesterday. I don't remember if it was y'all or if it was my last hour. But what happens when you have a negative exponent?
You have to change it to a positive by dividing it by 1.
So it becomes a fraction. So you have to make this 1 over c to the 5th, and it becomes a positive exponent. Okay? So then 18 would be what?
1
over
over
n to
n
the 10.
to
Beautiful. Okay? So then number 19 would be what? 1 over 9 to the 2nd, and then you have to solve.
81.
So it would become 1 over 81. Your answer has to be in a fraction. If not, it's wrong. Okay, and then 20.
1 over 11 cubed.
And then what does that equal? 1 over 1,331. All right, and then the last set of these. Anything to the 0 power is what?
1.
Anything is 1. Okay, and then this is the last page for y'all. All right, so we're writing in standard notation, which means we just got to move the decimal. So on 25, which way am I going?
Right.
To the right 5 times. If you need to come over here and write it out, that's completely fine, because sometimes that gets in the way. So you've got to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many spots did we open? 3. So you need to add 3 zeros. So that is your new answer. And you don't have to show me this unless you just need to. If you can do that in your head, that's totally fine. All right. So on this one, how many times, or where is the decimal? It's just behind the 4 chilling right there. Now I got to move it 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it creates 6 zeros. Am I going too fast, or are y'all okay?
We're good.
Good? Okay. All right, and then on the ones that have a negative exponent, which way am I moving?
Back or left?
Backwards or to the left, yeah. So I've got to go back 3 times. So again, if you need to rewrite it, you can, but you don't have to. So you would move it 1, 2, 3 times. And don't forget to put it back. Some of you guys did this, but then didn't put your decimal. So make sure you do that. So this made 1, 2 zeros. So 0.0012. Okay, and then on 28, how many times am I moving it?
Um,
5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't forget your decimal, which I kind of wrote into the question, but 1, 2, 3. So we're adding 4 zeros. All right, good on standard notation? we good to move on? Okay. All right, and then writing it in scientific notation. Now we've got to make it look like what we just did. So, how would I,
Move the decimal to the right.
until it's between the 1 and the 5? So you're going to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So it becomes 1.5 times 10. And we moved
To the right.
to the right, so it's a negative.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it's the opposite. When you go into scientific notation, right is negative. So basically, if you start with a decimal and you're going to a number, it's negative. We'll just do the one under it. So I've got to move it how many times?
2 once.
Just once, because I got to get it one number in front of the decimal. So it would become 4.34 times 10 to the negative 1. Good. Okay. On 30, where is my decimal?
It's behind the 100.
It's just back here chilling. So where do I got to move it? All the way right here. So I'm moving it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 9.998 times 10 to the 7th power. Make sure you keep all of those numbers back there. You can get rid of the zeros, but not the regular numbers. And then on 32, moving it twice. 1.0 times 10 to the 2nd. When you have a singular number, always put 0.0 at the back. All right, good on that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last set of questions that you have to do is that super fun worksheet that we did on Monday. You're literally just going to type that whole thing into your calculator, okay? So, you open a parentheses, 4.35 times 10 to the 3rd power, close your parentheses, you're going to put a multiply dot in between, open your parentheses and type the second set, so 6.4 times 10 to the 7th power, and then you just hit enter, and it's going to give you your answer. So, yeah, you don't, but you do have to put the division. Yeah, yeah, because it automatically does the multiplication.
But on the next one, if we get a decimal, we have to look it up.
Yes. Well, you don't have to show that to me, but yes. You got to put it in scientific notation, yeah. You can, yeah, or you can put just the scientific. That would be fine.
Oh, because if I put it in the calculator, I got
The long decimal. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So then what Chase is saying is when you plug this one in, it's going to give you a really long decimal, and then you've got to put it in scientific notation. So 12.3 times 10 to the negative 4th, and then 5.12 times 10 to the negative 5th, and it's going to give you this big long decimal. If you want to write that and then put it in scientific notation, that's fine, or if you just want to give me the answer in scientific notation, you can. All right. So then to turn it into scientific notation, then you've got to move it like we just did. And you're moving it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So 6.3 times 10. Negative 8. So if you just want to give me this one, that's fine. But if you want to write that and then do scientific notation, you can do that too. Yep. Because you can do that on your calculator just by swooping it. And some people's calculators automatically solve it. Like, Jocelyn, doesn't yours? Yeah. Okay. And then the next two are the same thing, but just a division symbol in the middle. So still do your parentheses. So 7.89 times 10 to the 12th. Close it, put a division symbol, which just looks like a slash. open parentheses, 8.24 times 10 to the 7th, close it. And again, it's going to give you this really wonky long decimal. So you can write it, or you can just do it in your calculator and then write the scientific notation. It's up to you. But now we've got to put it in scientific notation, so I'm going to move this decimal 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So 9.575242718 times 10 to the 4th power.
Oh my god.
I know, it's a big long number.
I bet.
The next one's not super long, so that's nice. Alright, and then the last one. Still plugging it into the calculator. 5.43 times 10 to the negative 9th divided by 14.3 times 10 to the negative 3rd. And again, it's going to give you a decimal, but it's not as long, which is nice. So that's what it gives you. Then you've got to move it into scientific notation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places. 3.8 times 10 to the negative 7th. And I can tell you how many of these are on the test. If you want. I think the test has 10 of each, but I could be wrong. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh no, it's only 8. You guys can turn it in and I'll give it back to you tomorrow, or you can keep it. It's up to you.